Hi everyone, it's me, Jordan here, and I don't know about you, but today I'm going to talk about hackers, at least my take on them. Hackers would have you believe all the stereotypes that come along with them. They would have you believe all the hype. Now, it is true that they can find information, but they're not as good as they claim to be. Now, I can give you one examples of why this might not be. If they were as good as they once would scare people into believing, then anything could be found, basically. From my understanding, they like to go for weak passwords. If something's taking a week, a month, a year, a century, and a decade to find, they're not going to bother with it. Apparently, some people believe that if you put a name of a place on there, that's all they need. Well, I'll give you an example. I make a video talking about how McDonald's messes up on orders, how Comcast has good and bad liability sometimes, or I'm being followed around at Walmart. Does that mean because I put the title in there, it's already hackable? No, unless you provide them with the information. But they're not always good at getting it. I know some idiots on YouTube who will actually try to ask you for your information because they're not going to sit around and try to guess it. It goes something like this. Now, it is true that they can get information, but according to how things were on YouTube, and I can't speak for everywhere else, these hackers usually like to stick to weak passwords. They don't like trying to find anything. Anything gives them a challenge, and they have to work for it. They don't like it. So you'll have a bunch of idiots that they're going to try to ask you for information. And that's usually how these morons act like this. Oh, I'm a YouTube administrator, and I need your username, email, and password because we're making sure that we're trying to keep YouTube safe from these hackers out here that like to hijack and take over partners, users, and advertisers' accounts. And YouTube will tell you that nobody who works for them will ever come on and ask you for your information, so you know right away that you're dealing with a half-ass hacker that basically knows you got a strong password, and he or she don't want to go through all that hassle because he or she may or may not have the password finding software, and they just want you to give them the information. But I have this idea that cherry only happens every once in a while. That if it happened the way they do it in the movies or in television, then the whole world would be effed. If they were as good as they claim they are in the motion pictures and television shows portray them as in plays, then the whole world would be messed up. But obviously it's not that simple. If it was that simple, then everybody would be nailed regardless of the strength of their password or their email or whatever the case might be, or their firewalls, whatever the case is. They're kind of stupid too. They actually think they're cool people because they can figure out shit. No, they want you to think that they want you to be afraid of them. And they want you to be stupid enough to make everything weak for them. I think these morons who use their password finding software, these morons just like to mess up security when they can, are idiots. Now, the term hacker was actually someone who could get a computer to do something that it normally couldn't do. Something that either the programmer or the developer or the manufacturer could not get the computer to do. But then hacker also was eventually a term for anyone that found out how to mess up security. So they usually go something like this. This is how I think hackers are like when it comes to long passwords that they gotta wait too long to get. You know, if a password is taking too long for password finding software to come up with, they'll just give up and they'll give up because they want something that's quick. They're not going to go with secure stuff. Oh, some hackers love secure stuff, but if it takes too long, they won't mess with it. Come on, I gotta get that password. Come on. I've been running my password finding software for about 5 days and I still can't find the password. I'm gonna give up. But regardless of how smart or regardless of how unintelligent or intelligent they may be, they can find information if you don't protect it, if you don't make it secure, if you don't make it strong. Okay? So you have to use strong passwords. You have to use secure servers when handling money. You do have to do certain things, and you do got to keep your information private too. And you do have to decode every damn thing when you're dealing with secure servers as well. So you do got to take precautions. But they're not. If they were as good as they make themselves off to be, then all those precautions wouldn't do anything. If hackers believe they're as good as the hype, okay, believe the hype, as they would say. Now, if hackers are as good as they think they are, then strong passwords, decoding, hiding, and secure things wouldn't be an issue for them. They could easily get that stuff like somebody making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But obviously it's not as easy for them as they make it out to be. Obviously strong passwords, secure servers, and decoding information is hard for them, even with themselves. And here's a question you ask yourself. If somebody is highly intelligent, why would they devote themselves to messing up the computer, or messing up websites, or even, screwing up security? If they were intelligent, they would put their intelligence to something positive and not negative. But that's just me, That's just me, unfortunately. Now, for every good hacker out there that can get a computer to do something that it can't normally do, like, back up files or something, or whatever the case might be, there's always going to be the jackasses that want to try to bypass security. So regardless of what website you're using, you always got to put security cautions and protocols in. That's true. But if they were as good as they make it out to be, then this stuff would be... I'm very good at what I do. I'm the best in the world. Secure password, secure server, not a problem. Boom. You want to try to make the code information so it looks gobbledygook my end? Boom. I got that taken care of. You want to try to keep your information private? Boom. I got it. Ha ha ha. That's my take on these stupid people out there. Okay? But hacking is a serious thing. I'm still gonna go on record and tell you that hackers can find information, but they're not tough like people think. If you're using a secure server and you got a strong password and you're decoding things, those things make a challenge for them, and they don't like having hard challenges. They want to go for anything that's weak, anything that's not protected, anything that has no, nothing, just makes it easy for them. If it's a challenge, they just put their hands in the air and give up. That's about it. I'm Jordan Long, and I'll see you later.